Hey there, welcome to another week. It is May 21st, 2023. And when we're looking at this week, look at everything over here. This is all about us. So, when I say this is all about us, we are learning, we are reflecting, we are processing. In addition to that, a lot of it is happening privately, right? So when we're looking at this week, just right off the bat, realize there is some motivation and some push to have a lot of change and transition happen. When we are looking at this, keep in mind that it is an opportunity for growth. I'm not talking about transitions that are necessarily detrimental. I'm talking about transitions that are giving, because this Pluto here, this is what I'm looking at. It's giving us this new direction during this transition into like major changes with our professions. You have like far reaching effects that like will continue on through your life from this upheaval and this career change that could be happening for many people right now. Now, it might not just be career because it is in the 10th house in Western society. Often we associate it with career. However, this could be about like work, marriages, committed partnerships, and even just setting a new course in how we're showing up in society. One danger in this transition is that past misdeeds, they could surface right now, and you could face a situation where you have to deal with that. So, what do we look at from there? We go from here and we look at our aspects, which are these lines in here. So, first, let's look at Mars. Now, when we look at Mars, it just popped into the fourth house. And so, as this energy is percolating in the fourth house, how this is going to be showing up is it's going to be putting a lot of energy into our family life. It's going to be putting a lot of energy if you're an adult with children and family of your own in your own home. That's what we're talking about. If you're not and you're still living at home, depending, on your age or what's going on, this is going to be about your family dynamics that way, right? Your parents, your siblings, things like that. So that's what we're looking at here. So you're going to have some transitions, and you might find that you have some karma in this life or the past that you need to focus on here. Additionally, you're going to see this popping up here in our first house, a lot of things to do with our identity. And then we also have this in some of the circle of influence of our peers. And so when we're looking at how this is affecting us, we can go, okay, we've got something in our identity, we've got something with relationships with others, and then relationships with family. And that's where we're going to see some of this transition pop up, but it's going to have a reflection and impact on our life and how we show up. And it could be like, it doesn't need to be traumatic, right? It could be maybe you're healing past wounds. Maybe you had a friendship that you were disillusioned over, and you got hurt or they got hurt. And, working through that, we just got done doing the Ho'oponopono. This is a great opportunity to use that practice to see how to work through these transitions as we're going through it. But you are willing to face the music and get a clean slate, and that's the beauty of this. And so it's giving you this opportunity to heal these wounds or these lessons, re-experience them, and come out stronger standing in your own. And it helps fulfill what's going on right now for you. So it's really great that you can take that into this area of your life. I personally am excited over this. Okay, so as we look though, as we're coming through this here, let's go ahead and look here. So we've got Saturn and Neptune here in our 11th house. And again, I was mentioning that this is people, friends, how we're out there in the world and society, our connection with others. And we do have this experience of like fantasyism. And so we might end up looking for different types of friendships than we currently have, but it's also partnered with this desire for some stability here. And so group commitments are something that's a good time with Saturn. And maybe you even take on an official role in one of those groups because that would definitely align with Saturn. But keep in mind that if you come up against anything that makes you anxious or fearful with any of this, just breathe and meditate and know that it's working through some of that karma, right? It'll be fine. So we have a lot here going on in identity, and it's in a very good position. So I don't want you to get worried about it. How this is positioning itself is we are looking at ourselves and what is making us stable, not only in appearance, but truly stable. And so we're looking for those types of things in this area. And that will kind of partner up here with our friends and some of the things we're looking at that way. We might even be able to fulfill some of our life purpose by being able to tap into the 11th house energy and help serve others in a pragmatic, stable way. And that would help satisfy this. When we are looking at some material things, because of what is going on this week, I would suggest that, we did step into Gemini, which congratulations, happy birthday, all you Geminis out there. Um, so we do have like this energy of communication and logical thinking, mischievousness, and, being a jokester and witty. So as we're looking at that, the moon being in Gemini, it's not so much feeling as much as it is thinking. And so you can use this opportunity to help yourself process any disillusions that we were talking about here with this Neptune, or being able to process some other areas of like, how do we want to show up and be seen. Now, and when we go into our third house about communication, we've got an opportunity here to very harmoniously communicate with others right now. And it is really beautiful. Think diplomacy and think balance. That's what's going on. Now, let's hop into the rest of our week. Now, let's look at Monday. We're looking at Monday. You don't see a lot of change, but we do see that the moon popped into Cancer here with our Venus. And when we do see this transition, I would say that these two are going to start working closer together as we pop over right here. Look at how close they are together. These guys are working in unison. Again, great opportunity to settle disputes, to communicate more clearly, and to speak truth and honesty. It very much reflects well on you and how you are associating yourself with your identity and showing up in the world right now. When we move into Wednesday, we start seeing that energy kind of fade. And then when we hit Thursday, we've got the moon popping over into Leo. Now, when our moon pops into Leo, we have a tendency to get egotistical. And in addition to that, like you can project this arrogance out of like kind of like a tantrum because you're not getting the attention and praise that you want. So if that is coming up for you, keep in mind that this is a fiery energy. Physically, you can get this out. If you want to run, do some real physical exertion with like going to the gym or playing soccer, things that are really going to exert your body and your adrenaline. That's a great way to get it out. Another great way is if that's not your bag of chips, maybe it's through the meditation and yoga, right? That's always like my preferred preference. Or like I'll do like meditation and yoga and then like some type of like minor craft project that I can get done within an hour. And then it kind of like takes all that energy and dissipates it in a way that I'm comfortable with. But do keep that in mind that you've got that going on. And it does pop over into the fourth house as well. So it brings us back to those emotional matters I was discussing when we first started this week. As we move through into Saturday, the moon, we actually see a couple transitions here with our aspects, but our moon is moving over into our fifth house. And so when we are looking at the moon in the fifth house, again, it's bringing in that creativity and that fun and how you look at yourself this way. And you might kind of be juvenile in the way you play. So, and some people, when they're in the fifth house, want to connect with children and have that type of playful experience. But when we are looking at this, keep in mind that the moon being here in Virgo is bringing us an opportunity to have this really strong experience with our emotions and the body. And just keep in mind, we're not seeking perfection. But as these other things have evolved this week, if you're starting to feel like stress and what have you, it's going to be important for you to get out of that stress. On a minor level, this could be allergies or just sensitivity to some foods, hay fever, things like that. On a larger scale, for those who have chronic illnesses, if you do not manage the stress, you will increase a flare up, which some people are having because it's that time of year, or you can trigger one. So keep in mind to stick to your structure, your order, your routines, taking care of yourself emotionally and physically. So that is how our week is turning out this week. I wish you the best and so many blessings. Take care.